All right, let's move on to our next Big Ten game. And let's go to, we're going to stay chronologically here. So 7:30 Eastern on ABC, Michigan at Minnesota. Michigan is a 3-point favorite at BetMGM, over under 54.5. There are some rumblings from Minnesota's standpoint that there could be some COVID issues. And, there's rumors out there that Falele and Dunlap, I think Falele, what is he, like 6'9", 410 pounds, their right tackle, and Dunlap, their right guard. I swear to God, I think he's like 6'9", 400. Now I got to look this up. But Minnesota's offensive line is massive. Word is that they're not going to play because, he's 6'9", 400. And he just scored a touchdown last year. Anyway, but they might not have been ready anyway. Like, Dunlap was going to transfer and then was in the transfer portal, then decided to come back. Falele was recovering from an injury. And Minnesota has a really deep offensive line. But I don't know who else could potentially be out. Michigan's a big unknown to me with how much they lost. Minnesota, obviously, good offensive line. They lost a couple backs. They do have Ibrahim back. They lost an NFL receiver in Tyler Johnson. They do have Rashad Bateman back. But there's a lot of change in Minnesota. We know the defense wasn't good. And look, Antoine Winfield, I mean, how much did he do for that defense? He's like playing as one of the better safeties in the NFL in his rookie year in Tampa. So this game's hard for me to cap, especially with the COVID uncertainty and not really knowing what we're going to get from Michigan. Walk me through this one.
Yeah, this was an easy cap for me. It's just something that once I start off with the Minnesota offense, Kirk Ciarrocca is gone. We just said that about Penn State. He is gone. He's at Penn State. He was the mastermind behind Tanner Morgan hitting Rashad Bateman, and the other Tyler Johnson. Did I say
Tyler
that?
Johnson, yeah.
Yeah. So he was the offensive coordinator was a mastermind behind Tanner Morgan hitting Tyler Johnson and Rashad Bateman all last year. He was responsible for the scheme, for the play calling, for everything. He's gone. And I said this, I said this on another podcast earlier this week. This is the biggest downgrade in offensive coordinator history. Mike Sanford was basically walked out of the job in 2016 at Notre Dame. He took Western Kentucky, a team that was going to a bowl by Brom and Petrino, took him down to 3-9 before he was fired there. Went to Utah State. You haven't heard about Utah State's offense in years. He has been a downward spiral to every program he's been involved in. And so when you take a big jump in offensive coordinator from Ciarrocca down to Sanford Jr., it's going to affect the offense and the way that the plays are called and the adjustments at halftime. It's a really big deal. So for me, that's what I was looking at from a Minnesota perspective. The defense loses a ton. Just 33% of that D is back. They were 42nd in success rate. Michigan is just such a mystery to me. Shea Patterson graduated. McCaffrey transfers. Joe Milton, who, I guess I heard from Michigan fans is the next Cam Newton. I heard that about Joey Gatewood as well. I've heard that about a lot of people. Just because of his size, is getting a lot of pub up there. But there's just question marks all over this Josh Gattis offense. He was brought in from Alabama to install this spread up tempo offense. I never saw it. And, their tempo last year finished at 57th. That's not fast. That's pretty average. 49% of the defense from Michigan is back. They do have two solid edge rushers that can pressure Tanner Morgan. For me, this was pretty easy. Michigan has the lowest amount of returning starters on the offensive side of the ball. I think Josh Gattis is still searching for an identity with that program. Minnesota has a massive downgrade in offensive coordinator. This is a first half under for me all the way.
Yeah, I may agree with you there. I am worried about Minnesota's defense. They lost all of their key cogs, right? Winfield, Coughlin, Barber, Martin. They have a great defensive tackle, but they have to replace their defensive ends. So I don't know if they can get pressure. I don't know how they're going to make up for the loss of Winfield on the back end. Their corners are really the only corner and D tackle, the only really position that you feel good about. But yeah, I don't know with the Michigan offensive line, right? They lost 4 offensive linemen in the NFL too. Yeah. This offense did nothing last year. Yeah, I don't know if I trust the Michigan offense as well. They're with so much unknown. Yeah, I think you might have convinced me, which is why we do this podcast. So maybe I'll join you there. Good cap there.